family, welcome back to our channel. I've recently noticed several articles on self-care for parents. You know, this topic is especially important with all that today's families are experiencing. You know, when you think about it, a pandemic, natural disasters, financial hardships, and the list goes on and on. It's hard to think about taking care of ourselves when we are just trying to make it through each day. The goal of this video is to share 10 self-care tips. I've used these tips myself and shared them with parents to incorporate in their self-care routines. Also, at the end of this video, I'll share an easy-to-use self-care plan that'll serve as a plan of action to make sure you're taking some time out to focus on areas of your emotional, psychological, spiritual, and physical health.
Hey Google, stop music.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? What are you doing?
We're having spa day.
Spa day, okay. Alright, enough of this nonsense. Let's go, Chase. Come on.
He doesn't want to go with you.
Let's go, Chase. Come
here.
on. Ugh, fine.
Hey Google, play.
Hilarious, right? Self-care is more than long baths, pedicures, or going on vacations. Although those are great, there really is so much more to it. Self-care is taking care of your physical health and body, taking care of your mind and thoughts, taking care of your spiritual health, taking care of your emotions, and it's really increasing your overall well-being through self-care behaviors. So it's about establishing routines that become habits that cultivate and preserve emotional, psychological, physical, and spiritual health. Now let's briefly discuss what self-care is and what self-care is not as it relates to parenting. So self-care is taking time to assess what you need and addressing the actions to take. So it's figuring out what it is that you really need to do, or what you need to stop doing, and then taking those actions. Self-care is not when a parent focuses on self at the detriment of their family. So self-care is not putting the family's well-being at risk for the sake of your own pleasure or gain. When we take time to care for ourselves, we can, number one, lower stress levels. Number two, teach our children to value their health and well-being. And number three, be better, healthier, calmer parents. When we neglect self-care, it can affect our physical health, causing issues like a weaker immune system and high blood pressure, among other health conditions. But it can also affect our mental health, triggering things like depression and anger management issues. These issues can make it even more difficult to care for our children. Our children learn by our examples, and when we neglect ourselves, we teach children that it's okay to put other things and people before our own health and well-being. So it takes energy to be a positive, proactive, and patient parent. And there's an old saying, it's an empty tank will take you exactly nowhere. You must take time to refuel. So if we don't take care of ourselves, it becomes more difficult to positively care for our children. Affirmations are wonderful to include as a self-care practice. Positive words influence thoughts, and thoughts are things. Words truly impact the way we think. So I use affirmations both personally and professionally. And how I use them is I may pick an affirmation and focus on that affirmation all week, or just for one day, pick a different one each day. How I use them professionally is on my desk, I have had a bowl of affirmation cards. And I can't tell you how many times that after I've met with someone, they'll leave and I hear a knock on the door and they say, you know what, I forgot to pick my affirmation cards. So they're great reminders to help people think about positive words that influence their lives. Quiet time for self-reflection. And I know that can be difficult in a busy household, but it's important to find time, whether it's getting up a little bit earlier or going to bed later when everyone is asleep. Finding that time where you wind down and think about what's working, what's not working, and really things that bring you joy. Practice self-compassion. Sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves. I know I tend to be harder on myself than anyone else, and having to find ways to really have that, include that self-compassion. Compassion for myself and of course compassion for others. Tap into your creativity. There's a sense of satisfaction, even a childlike satisfaction when I sit down and color with my grandson. I take the time to sit down and color with my grandson. It is just so enjoyable, but we have to make the time to tap into that creativity and include it in our life. When was the last time you had one of those deep, deep belly laughs where you just laugh so hard that you cry or it's hard to catch your breath? Laughter is healing, so make sure you're laughing often. Stretching exercises like Qigong or Tai Chi, where you're stretching and incorporating breathing, which are really, really wonderful ways to get the blood circulating and kind of just feeling energized. We feel better when we stretch. When we think about incorporating our dreams and how that makes us feel, having something to look forward to, working towards something that really is important to us. Dream big, have something that you look forward to. That's a positive way of taking care of yourself mentally and emotionally. With technology, we can access an abundance of helpful information right from our phones. Take time to motivate and inspire yourself as much as possible. Batch tasks for free time to relax and rest. Combining tasks may be a labor-intensive process up front, but can also leave room on the other end for more free time if you plan it right. For example, preparing several days of meals on the weekend can leave extra time during the week for downtime and rest. An important component of self-care is knowing when you need help and getting it, whether it's talking to a close friend, family member, or a licensed therapist. There's never anything wrong with accessing the support you need. Now let's tie this all together by using a self-care plan. I've included a blank printable self-care plan below in the description box. Here's an example of how to use it. Take inventory of self-care activities you need to focus on more in each of the 4 areas we've discussed. Write them in your plan and post it where you can preview it often. Remember, a plan is just a thought until you add action. So come on, you got this, you can do it. I hope this information was helpful. If so, be sure to subscribe, like, and of course share the information with someone who could benefit from it. And remember, It is important for us to live, love, laugh, and leave a legacy. I'll see you soon, family.